Is the fight finally happening?
They were kind of fighting like pussies.
Most interesting segment in this episode, Nikhil Kamath's big lie.
बहनचोद एक दिन सब मरने वाले हैं.
Just because somebody's posting stuff on YouTube, that does not mean they're an influencer, right?
First become rich and then become philosopher. But Amazon completely missed on the quick commerce field.
I actually feel bad for your girlfriend right now, Pawan. Do you check her score every week now? Welcome to another edition of the Indian Startup Desktop. Let's go.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Elon versus Zuck is here.
What's going on? Is the fight finally happening?
Let's get ready to rumble. He's starting out strong, lots of energy. Musk does not look like he's taking the bait. Here we go. Here we go. They were kind of fighting like pussies. Oh boy, Musk just charged up his cyber punch. Oh man, he can't even control his own technology. Wow, another tech malfunction. So much for that flamethrower. And Musk is on fire.
Went it.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh!
The boys are in trouble now. This fight is over.
What the fuck did we just watch?
I felt
Yeah.
Elon was looking way more younger than he is actually, but Zuck looked familiar actually.
How are you as a consultant unhappy with your life? Just consult yourself, man. Do the primary research, define the problem statement, and then reduce headcount by 100%. Pawan, your thoughts?
Sure. I mean, I think so consultants finally have a task to do that they have to consider upon.
Just do a SWOT analysis, figure out what's not working, and move on with it, guys.
All right, let's move on to the weekly Spice edition. So there's this Twitter character by the name of Sneha. She got popular a couple of months back because she became a Blinkit delivery person, gave some great feedback. The company absolutely loved it. But recently, she's been getting a lot of flack because she tried ordering like a milk from Country Delight and sarcastically clapped them for charging the same amount in delivery fees. And the Twitter fam, as you know, came swarming towards her. Pavan, your quick thoughts?
I think so it's fair, dude. I mean, the delivery guy also needs to be paid, right? Just because someone wants a milk packet to be delivered, that doesn't mean that delivery guy would be not taking money home.
Is this you,
Order more.
Vishal Mehta?
Damn.
Everything said and done, guys. It's still paying 4x of the price of the milk. I understand delivery charge, but like it's a little crazy to be paying $120 for something that costs you 30.
Walk outside,
Like
go
just
to the nearest store, buy it.
Exactly.
that
If you really want to just order one packet of milk, go down to the neighborhood store and buy. It's only when you want to buy quick commerce makes sense.
yeah, we're all spoiled for choice. Way too much.
I think that's a conscious choice we made.
Let's move on to our most interesting segment in this episode, Nikhil Kamath's big lie. So Nikhil Kamath, who's a fucking billionaire and who's always a huge proponent of renting rather than buying a home, recently bought a house and people just couldn't let him forget it, can they? Pawan,
Absolutely.
your quick thoughts?
I mean, I heard more than this, the interesting part for me was people complaining and debating on the aesthetics of the home and how it could have been better, and there were other set of people how luxurious it was, so on and so forth. I mean, it's fine, guys. People can take U-turns. I'm okay with it. What do you think, Saksham?
If you guys remember, we had Nikhil was in some in a conference wherein he says this line. He said, "बहनचोद एक दिन सब मरने वाले हैं." I think he went back, saw it podcast, and then decided to just just go for it.
There's also a weird topic that people kind of argue very passionately, right? They don't agree that it's quite subjective, right? Somebody who wants the psychological piece of, let's say, buying a house is not going to be felt by everybody else. So I think it's a little silly that people think that there's only one size fits all approach, but I think you can really say this about almost any topic that divides that
He's
divides society.
The
against
thing is, the
buying.
home can't be seen as an investment every time.
Never blindly follow influencers. Nikhil Kamath is not a fucking influencer.
I mean, now he is right with the whole WTF podcast. That's what he's been trying to do in some sense. I think.
No, he's just trying to talk and host and just have great conversation. He's not coming out as an influencer. Just because somebody's posting stuff on YouTube, they that does not mean they're an influencer, right?
I mean, we are
But
not.
I have a
So,
question.
yes.
What do you guys think? How much of it is getting translated into marketing for Zerodha? Do you think there are like more people installing Zerodha and Kite app, or like just trusting Zerodha because of WTF podcast? Do you think that's happening?
I think absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think there is a second order effect where that can happen. But it also helps them stand out in a very crowded space. There is growth and IND money, a bunch of companies operating in this space. So I feel like Nikhil Kamal doing this kind of helps them stand out from a bunch of these other companies, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
At the end, guys, I would say the same thing I told last time. First become rich and then become philosopher. He's rich, he can do anything. I don't think so. We have a choice to debate on it. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's too funny how people were reacting to this, right? Let's look at this. Never believe the rich and privileged. Sheesh, why are people taking it so hard? People who follow influencers blindly are the big idiots here. These influencers give idiotic suggestions. But guys, Saksham, I'll go with you first. What do you really think? Do you think it's fine that someone like a Nikhil Kamath has propagated to not buy a house and suddenly he bought it? And I know we spoke before this recording even started, and you were feeling a little weird that he did that. But what are your honest thoughts here?
Yeah. Honestly, see, I think it's a little weird. I think why people are taking it so hard is that he's always been just advocating against buying a house, irrespective of whether it's a financial decision or an emotional. Because a lot of folks have come on his podcast and tried to tell him that it's also an emotional side to it, like Pawan mentioned. So I think which is why people are just deeply hurt and taken aback. And there's also this thing once you see somebody who's at the peak of their careers, who's a billionaire, rich, etc., you want to say that out for, and this just becomes like a thing to now talk a little negative about. But yeah, to be honest, it's okay, guys. I think uh, I can understand why anybody would want to get a house.
I think so. The advocacy was for like middle class people. He's rich. Once you become rich,
He-
you have a choice to buy peace with your money. And I think so having a place of your own or buying a home is buying peace of your own. Uh, it's fine, no? You can throw money at
philo-
problems and get them solved.
Philosophy, beautiful.
Someone bought the JioHotstar domain and wants Reliance to fund their higher studies from domain sale.
I don't think Reliance is looking to pay him money or like buy this out. They'll just be like, like who even are you? Like you are non-existent for us. That is very much possible.
A quick commerce guy can earn up to 30,000 to 40,000 by just moving from a tier 4 city to tier 1 city.
Dating based on CIBIL score. This is a post by our very own Pavana. Let's move on to the main segment of today's episode, drama of the week, the Geo Hotstar domain dispute. In fact, let me not even give context. Let me open the tweet and let's go from there. Someone bought the JioHotstar domain and wants Reliance to fund their higher studies from domain sale. Really hope they can get a good payout from this. Guys, before you chip in, I'll just quickly read and give context. Hi, I'm an app developer based in Delhi, currently working on my startup in early 23 while scrolling through social media. I came across a news stating that Disney plus Hotstar was losing daily active users after losing the IPL streaming license, and Disney considered selling or merging Hotstar with an Indian competitor. Blah, 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 blah. To acquire this domain, kindly reach out to mail@geohotstar.com from your company email address with an official letter attached stating your authorization to purchase on behalf of Reliance. For a multi-billion-dollar company like Reliance, this will be a minor expense, but for me, the sale of this domain would be truly life-changing. This is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Pavan, what do you think?
Great guy. He'll be a great sales guy, great marketing guy, great entrepreneur, great negotiator.
Are you done? Is there anything else he'll be great
Yeah,
at?
I mean, we'll figure it out eventually, probably if we know who it
Oh my
was.
God.
I think so most of the people on
Saksham, you want
internet
to chip
know who
in?
it was.
I love that tweet that uh, handsome ransom. I think
Yeah.
this is great. And this is so smart. So yeah, good for him.
Look, but there are two schools of thoughts. Not everybody kind of agrees with what this guy is saying. A lot of people think that domain squatting is illegal. First of all, domain squatting is illegal. But doing this against the company with the might of a Reliance is just not going to work in your favor. Saksham, what are your thoughts on domain squatting?
Uh, I kind of agree with you. In fact, at that point in time, there was no even gossip of Jeevan. So I would see it as maybe something that happened for him. Probably a little bit of ignorance is bliss in some sense. Yes, betting against Reliance and then putting out post. I don't think Reliance is looking to pay him money or like buy this out. They'll just be like like who even are you? Like you are non-existent for us. That is very much possible.
Yeah. Look, I think it's interesting because um, Geo did offer him something. I think they offered him about £100,000 or somewhere, around that range. But this guy, being slightly bit more greedier than the average Joe, wanted slightly more. Wanted, in fact, significantly more.
Okay,
And that's when JioHotstar kind of started, twisting his arm, so on and so forth.
but
But look, there are two sides to this. Let's check out the other side.
did he end up getting the money?
No, but I'll tell you what happens in the end.
Okay,
Everyone's saying Reliance should have paid the guy at least for the hustle and that it's peanuts for Reliance. This is not about that. This is about a precedent. It won't end once a precedent is set. And I think this is the most interesting tweet out of everything that we read today, right? Reliance knows that if they kind of cave in and give money to a single person, this is going to be the talk of the town. Everybody's going to try to do this, right?
that's fair. That's fair. You have to also make sure that you do it in such a way that people don't just assume that they can get this out of you, especially when you're as big a group as Reliance is. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Look, Saksham, he's talking about you. These guys who are saying this fight for 1 2 rupees with auto rickshaw wala and sabzi wala and don't take but carry bags at supermarkets.
Bro, that's actually so true. Like I won't even deny it. Like when you're fighting these pennies. I remember yesterday I was buying a wrapper, a handbag for like an alcohol I was getting for a friend for Diwali, and that plastic bag is like 130 bucks.
Sheesh.
Sure, Saksham, you're rich. We get it.
It's okay, bro.
Saksham, what are your quick thoughts on the entire debate?
The way it turned out to be at the end by the domain being sold to some kids from Dubai, right? I feel that Reliance could have just sponsored the kids' education, could have signed an NDA so that people don't know that it was sponsored by Reliance. And at the end of the day, Reliance has this wing to sponsor abroad education for a lot of people in India. They could have just put that guy on the list and could have dealt it in a very sane manner.
Yeah,
I think so.
man.
This went ridiculously off.
Look at this. We are Jainam and Jivika, siblings from Dubai, UAE. They even have pictures of the kid attached.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, father of the year type candidate. Know this guy?
Yeah, but, yeah, properly. Also,
But don't you think it's a little weird that this guy embedded videos of his kids singing and talking on on YouTube on this in
isn't
this
that
link?
isn't that all parents for the last 30, 40 years? Like,
So let's move on. We all know what the Quit India movement is, but let's understand what the Quick India movement is now. Saksham, give us your quick thoughts.
it's a very interesting take. I think what Weber was trying to say is how with the whole onset of quick commerce, people have just gotten to the convenience so much, and the kind of competition we are seeing from folks in the Indian brands, especially like like a Zomato, going after the largest folk like the Amazon of the world. I think it's very very interesting, and I sort of agree that there is a lot more that can be done, and we're clearly seeing a shift of how commerce is used to happen, which already we at least felt was solved for so well by conglomerates like your Amazons and ETCs of the world. Pawan, what do you think?
For the last 40 to 50 years, India has been divided into this ultra rich and ultra poor segment that are the two classic segments of India. And I feel like quick commerce is that one sector which is trying to drive growth from the higher to the lower by delivering the means of convenience. Actually, the lower sector is actually delivering convenience because of which they have been paid like I would not say ridiculously high amount, but considerably high amount when you compare it to the other sector jobs that are available in India. A quick commerce guy can earn up to 30,000 to 40,000 by just moving from a tier 4 city to tier 1 city, which probably he would have been making like 5,000 to 10,000 rupees in a tier 4 city, which is good, which is a great thing. I
Yeah.
feel this has become like a catalyst in accelerating the lower tier society growth actually.
Yeah, fair. Look, I think all of us are huge fans of quick commerce, but what is also happening is that apart from horizontal quick commerce like maybe Blinkit or Zepto or anything else. There is also verticalized, specialized quick commerce coming in. Look at this. There is Slick delivering curated fashion in 60 minutes. In HSR, Swish is delivering fresh food. Citl is pioneering quick and construction material. So I think this is where the market is also evolving towards from a horizontal way of doing things. I think we are going more vertical and more industry specific right now, and it's super exciting to see how this plays out over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
The surprising part for me is that I remember that Jeff Bezos quote where he says that people would always want something better, faster. They would never say that I'm okay with getting this package 10 days down the line. It would be like, I want it tomorrow. But Amazon completely missed on the quick commerce way.
Yeah, I was just going to add that. Like, you gave a brilliant quote, which is very relevant, but Amazon didn't do anything in the QC space. I think QC will probably work in India more than any other country because
Yeah.
how labor is cheap over here. I don't think QC will work very well in Western and developed countries.
I agree. I think so. But we don't know. Like the jobs in the Western countries are also evolving. They don't have like a lot of opportunities available anymore. So maybe this becomes a trend there. DoorDash is
Yeah.
doing great in US. Deliveroo is doing great in Europe. These startups are coming there. It's the matter of choice how they build their standard operating procedures, how they actually go from food delivery to grocery delivery, how the margins on groceries are, a multiple factor of that.
Yep. All right. Moving on to one of our favorite segments in this, episode, dating based on CIBIL score. This is a post by our very own Pavana. So let me not even comment further. Let me ask Pavan himself to give his unabashed and a little bit stupid take on this.
I'm not surprised if you guys say that it's not an intriguing idea. We have classical 50-50% of people saying that 50% saying that's a crazy idea, 50% just saying it does not make sense. And for you guys, like specifically Saksham and Pete, this is not a new idea to you guys. I've pitched this idea like n number of times in last 1 year, and we have always been debating like is it a good or a bad thing. And finally, we have results. We don't know whether it's good or bad. We definitely know it's interesting for sure or else people wouldn't have gone nuts over it. But I had few common observations while I was going through retweets and people commenting on it. Okay, the common points were Gen Zs are liking it, millennials are disagreeing into agreeing kinds, and boomers have just lost their shit reading it. I see uncles replying saying, "What the fuck are you talking about? Are you saying?" There was one uncle who was asking me, "Are you married or single?" I'm like, "How is it relevant?" Yeah.
Saksham, you can go first.
What do you guys think? What were your thoughts when you saw this going out?
Firstly, I don't know why it took you so long to tweet this. We've been talking about this for the last year. Finally, it was out, and I'm so happy that the post it sort of became your viral moment. So that's great. I think it's a very interesting take. We've discussed it multiple times.
Look at this by a very prominent Twitter handle called Wasted Ho. I get why this botched looking individual would have Techno reinvents Jeevan Shanti. Oh, all rose in my thoughts are this, bro. I think it's very silly. I think it's very stupid. Because look, when is the last time that you fell in love with somebody because of their credit score or their net worth? While I do agree that there is going to be a section of
When was the last time you fell in love with watching pictures?
look, I get it, right? I get that the current way dating is being done through these apps, which is just swipe a bunch of pictures and then decide. I agree that's flawed, but I don't think this is the right solution to that, right? And that's all I have to say to it.
I would say we don't know. If you go back to the
Sure.
roots of India, marriages and relationship have always been part of credentials and cults and people knowing each other. Financial security, how rich you are, how poor you are, what is your financial backing. Finance has to play a lot of role in getting two people together.
I
If
I actually feel bad for your girlfriend right now, Pawan. Do you check her CIBIL score every week now?
I don't know, I have never checked her CIBIL score, neither I know whether she has one or not.
Yeah,
But
right. Don't lie. This is the reason this guy is single. Wow, dude. So,
actually, my girlfriend took a screenshot of that and sent it back to me saying that, did you read this? I was like, yeah, I did. What can I do? She's like, shall I reply? I'm like, please don't.
awesome then. That's it from this week's episode of the Indian Startup Desktop.